Hello, I hope you're well. A piece of news that I heard last week was about Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know whether you heard it, but apparently they've dropped for temporarily their slogan that their product is finger licking good. It's still good, but because of COVID, you can't lick your fingers now. So it's no longer finger licking good. That led me to look as to where that slogan came from. And apparently it came from the 1950s. There was a franchise holder for Kentucky Fried Chicken who was doing some live TV adverts. And these adverts were someone extolling the virtues by talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken, whilst in the background there was a gentleman who was eating the stuff. And one day, an eagle-eyed viewer noticed that he'd licked his fingers. And she got in touch with the TV company and made a complaint because this was not a good example to children and was not hygienic. And the guilty person said, well, it is finger licking good. And rumour has it that's how that slogan came to be. So Kentucky Fried Chicken, they're still going to produce chicken for people to eat. They're still going to claim it's good, but it can't be finger licking good. COVID has made them change. And of course, COVID has changed so many things. It's changed the way businesses function. It's changed the way churches meet. And churches, even if they do gather together physically now, they can't sing, they can't sit near one another, they can't shake hands, people can't hug, people can't easily have coffee and biscuits after the service. They can still be good, they can still function, they can still do what they're there for, but, well, they can't be finger licking good, if you see what I mean. And of course, churches, well, what's the point of church? Churches do have a role, and most churches that are that have a mission statement, they put things, however they describe it, in four ways. They're there to worship God. They're there in a Godward way. They're there to serve one another by caring for one another and teaching one another. And they're there to reach out. And different churches have different strengths in the way they do those things. But they're still there. Churches still have that role to play, whether we can meet physically or not. They can be good, but they can't be finger licking good. And for us as well, we've all got a role to play. I believe God has a purpose for each one of us. Few of us will become rich, few of us will become famous, but we all have a chance to enrich the lives of those around us. And in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 to 10, St. Paul talks about how we're saved and what we're saved for. So he says, "For it's by grace you have been saved through faith. It is not from yourselves, it's the gift of God, not by works, lest any man should boast." So he's saying there, look, we can't save ourselves. It's the initiative, it's the love, it's the grace, it's the mercy of God. But then he says, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God has prepared in advance for us to do." So we are created to do good works. At the moment, during this pandemic, there's all sorts of things we can't do. And I think we need to find creative ways of showing love to others, of doing those good works that God has for us. And I wonder how you're getting on in that. Are you able to still find ways of serving one another, whether it's by praying for people, whether it's by giving them a phone call, whether it's by sending them an email, whether it's when you do see people, giving them a nice smile and a wave from a distance, whatever it is, let us make sure that we're still fulfilling our purposes. Because like with the chicken, we can still do good, even if we can't do finger licking good. In Galatians chapter 5, Paul talks there about the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control, and probably one or two others as well. And he says there, against such there is no law. And it strikes me that the government can put guidelines, they can create laws about all sorts of things that we can and can't do, but we can still show love. We can still exhibit joy. We can still bring peace to others. We can still show patience. We can still show kindness. We can still show goodness and all those things. So I wish you a good week. Reach out to others. Do those good works. And remember, even if you can't be finger licking good, you can still be good.